So good morning guys, welcome to Flory Models. Here we are on actually Wednesday morning. So yesterday we had the live show, great show, thank you very much Steve as well, answering all your questions, but boy was it hot, absolutely sweltered in here all day. As I say, great to go through questions, but there's one thing I just want to sort of clarify and make everything, and that's about, the question came up and it was alluding to, basically we're talking about sort of copycats, people copying your work and everything else like that, and I had about 5 people message me about it, and they're talking about copycats, people who've copied Flory models, other sites that have sprung up on the back of us and all the rest of it. And I just want to clarify a thing. I don't mind them. As far as I'm concerned, I've obviously inspired people to do it. And don't forget, I don't really do this for the money, although don't get me wrong, obviously I make a very comfortable living out of this now with this work and sort of the consultancy work I do now and a few other things as well. So, you know, it makes for a comfortable living and all the rest of it. But boy, has it been hard work. Don't forget, I've been doing this job now for the best part of 20 years as a full-time. We've been doing Flory models now for over 15 years. I know a lot of you don't see it because you think YouTube has just been around. Don't forget, YouTube's only been there since 2005. We were started uploading in 1999. That's how far back we go. So we go back further than even YouTube. So when you see sort of the YouTubers spring up and all the rest of it, we used our own server to around about 2010, and then I must admit we just went with everybody else and went onto YouTube. But it's funny because obviously a lot of people have mentioned other sites that have sprung up and moved on, and don't forget, a lot of the people who were members of us at Flory Models have gone on and started up their own companies. You know, I'm not going to mention them by name, but a few of them have gone out and done it. But the funny thing was, somebody sent me a clip which I think is absolutely fantastic. Okay, so I'm just going to play it here, and I think it sums it up pretty well. If you're being copied, if you think somebody's copying your work, your style and everything else, but have a listen to this.
If you're constantly being told that your work is a copy of someone else's, you're doing it wrong. And if you're constantly being told that your work is being ripped off by someone else, you're probably doing it right.
And that is really how I see it. You know, when people say to me about such and such copy, you know, I think, well, I must be doing it right. I think that's absolutely summed it up brilliantly. But don't forget, I think the more exposure that the hobby gets, the stronger it will be. Okay, as I said, I honestly say I thought the hobby was dying on its arse around about the turn of the millennium, around about 2000, purely because it seemed to be on a downward spiral. And I can honestly say I think things like YouTube, not just me, yeah, okay, I might have started it along the way, but certainly from the point of view of other YouTubers getting involved with it especially, and other, you know, vlogging sites, blogging sites and everybody else showing their work, being extremely open about how they do things. Like, you know me, I do warts and all. You see all my mistakes, you see all the good bits, the bad bits and everything else in between. That's how I like to model. I like to show how to fix a mistake instead of just pretending it never happened. That's why we don't edit like that. But I think in some ways it's a good thing. I love the way that, you know, the actual the community as well sort of rallies together. But I do want to say one thing on that thing. YouTube, we don't have comments. And that's something else that has sprung up about this. Why don't we have comments on YouTube and all the rest of it? For obviously for bringing people into the hobby and getting new members, as a lot of people say. Okay, first of all, getting new members. Technically, I don't worry if we get new members or not. It doesn't make any difference to me whatsoever. I'm not just going out to get new members. I don't want us to be the biggest. I like our community, to be honest, quite small, hidden. Don't forget, we've never paid for an advert. We don't have any links on our site. We don't have any links on YouTube. So it's not like the thing down the side and it says, like, you know, sites you might like and things like that. We don't do that. The tags as well. I get companies saying to me, do you realise you don't have any tags on any of your videos? We can come and sort all that out for you. I deliberately don't have tags. We only have 2 tags on our thing, and that's basically says scale modeling and Flory models. It doesn't say anything about manufacturers, scales, whatever. So every time we upload a video, hopefully it slips under the radar, because as I say, we don't want that influx into it. As strange and as stupid as that sound, I am not after subscribers on YouTube, because at the end of the day I'm just giving to the community, but I'm not actively seeing it. You know, let's face it, you don't get any money out of YouTube anyway. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, the subscription pays my wages to do my job. That is where I focus on, and that's why we don't have any comments. Not only is YouTube, I think, you know, to be honest, a little bit of a cesspit of negativity, because I know of guys, good friends of mine, who have had YouTube channels who have closed them in the last sort of few months, purely because of all the negative feedback, because it does seem to be almost like a cat fight between all the YouTubers out there, that you're trying to outdo each other and slagging each other off. And I know we get it in the neck as well. There's certain sites out there who love to have a dig at us, and actually it does make me laugh. Every time it comes out, me and the team always have a good laugh about it. But That's because they're after subscribers. They want this. They're trying to push their company. They're trying to get ahead. And if they have to do it by belittling other people, then again, my favourite word, sad. Okay? But unfortunately, I do know a lot of YouTubers out there that have fallen along the wayside, given up on their channels, moved into other forums and stuff like that because of almost bullying that's happening on YouTube. And it does seem to be a thing. It's not just this. Don't forget, I have other hobbies as well, and it happens exactly the same as that. It's not just scale modelling. But I think, again, it's people trying to make themselves seem better. And as I say, a good friend of mine has closed his YouTube channel recently, purely because of the bullying, the negativity on it and all the rest of it. And it just seems to be people love to pick on and have a go at. And again, you know, I'm glad I'm not in it. The other thing as well, we don't have comments, isn't so people can have a dig at me, because as I say, I don't care. But also, don't forget, I do my job of doing all of this for you guys who are paying subscribers. I answer all of your questions immediately. I answer other people's questions if I have time. So if you never get a reply from me, I haven't got time that day. I've been dealing with all the members. That's the reason for it. Okay, so you know, that's the thing. I just wanted to explain that because, as I say, it caused a few, I had like 5 emails about it and everything else, and I just wanted to clear that out, that really we are here, or I am here, the site is here for the paying subscribers, but what I try and do as well is give to the rest of the community. And I know that the subscriber base, obviously they're paying for it all. They're not just paying for like me to sit here, they pay for all the equipment, the kits, the reviews, absolutely everything. And we give back as much as we can to them. But also I know that they want us to, you know, make the hobby a nicer, better place and everything else. But certainly we don't go around looking for subscribers because quite frankly, we don't need them. Anyway, on to a slightly better note, I have to say. See, look, sun burning through. That will annoy the white balance. Okay, so also got a lot of feedback from my rescribing. Sorry, not rescribe. It's my re-riveting skills. Let me just try and take this off without it doing the thing. Right. Okay. So hopefully, if this plays ball, come on, camera. I haven't got it on macro mode. This is the trouble. You have it in. This is my first ever full re-riveting job with Rosie the Riveter, and to be honest, it's probably my first ever full re-rivet over absolutely everything. And then this is going to be up obviously a little bit later on. It's going to be up on the actual site, and to be honest, I have got the odd wonky line, but I think by the time it's hidden under some camo work and all the rest of it, we should be absolutely fine. But that's my first go with Rosie the Riveter. Now, I was expecting this, to be honest, to be like a 2-day job. Got this one down here as well. And I managed to do this literally all in a little afternoon. And to be honest, it's a relaxed afternoon because I was with Steve most of it. Okay, but there we go. That's all of that done, dusted, re-riveted. Now, why Revel couldn't put that on the kit in the first place is beyond me, because let's face it, it's 1/32. You should really be able to do that on a 1/32 kit, but oh no, they couldn't do it. Right, okay, let me just put you back on your stand. Okay, so plan for today, or plan of action. We're going to get this edited. I have done it, it is completed. We're going to get this one edited, sorted. I'm going to get it uploaded to the site, and then YouTube can sit on it and do all the bits and pieces. Although saying that, it looks like the main site is down, or it's in low power mode just for a moment. I'm waiting for it to flick through. But if you have got a problem, if you're trying to watch this at 8:15 in the morning, that's what that's doing as we speak. But anyway, I'm going to get that edited, get that up around about midday. We're going to try and get this somewhat together today. So what I'm going to try and do is get the fuselage halves together, maybe even get the wings underneath and put those in and everything else, so we can get the cockpit installed. And then we can take care of all the seams, because then I'm going to leave that for a day. And then tomorrow, obviously, we've got reviews. I've got a couple of reviews for you, a few bits and pieces, so I want to do that. And we're going to push through with it. But I must say, you know I keep saying on everything I do, everyone go out and buy these tools. Say RB Productions do the end bit, or you can just go and get the full one as well for Rosie the Riveter. I had a blast, and hopefully you're going to see in the video. To be honest, I did the entire of the fuselage, and I'll put it to some music and just watch it. A lot of it freehand, because you're actually there thinking, yeah, I can just whiz that around, and it works. Whereas before, if you're using one of these, it just doesn't work. It's pretty horrible and pretty nasty to do. So anyway, that's it from me. I'll catch you all later. Okay, so good morning's work. To be honest, I've done a little bit on the 190, which I'll show you. I've just literally finished editing up the video, 0.65, but I think that's a little bit too fine, which is going very, very well. It's one of those things, trying to show riveting, there's a lot of back of the head shots and all the rest of it, because you have to see. And this is what we're saying about on yesterday's Q&A, and we were talking about YouTubers and various bits and pieces like that, is that trying to show it and talk about it and be able to see it all in once is really difficult, and that's what we're saying about with Steve. You know, I know a lot of you would like Steve to actually do videos and that. It's having the equipment and everything else, and some days it'd be really handy for me to have a cameraman here as well, so somebody who can, as I've got my head in the way, can just slightly move it around and things like that. This is definitely one of those, because to be honest, down here in this actual video which we've got on here at the moment, it's show you a good example, some nice shots of the back of my head, and I've looked at it from all 4 camera angles, and apart from if we're going to go for the overall one at the front, it's really difficult to see right the way through. With this particular one, I show it completely warts and all. So the camera was just running, and then I carried off and just carried on filming and going through like this, and to show you that I can do an entire side in not too long at all, and it went something like this.
faces, prolong the embraces. We were always one toward the breakaway, but we're nearing chances to wake the day. They're calling you over, the methods are bolder. We're lost in the time now, reminding ourselves how we were always one toward the breakaway, but we're nearing chances to wake the day.
So yes, it was hot doing that type of thing. But as I said, it's one of those things, if you just get into a little bit of rhythm with it, a little bit of a roll, and it doesn't take too long at all. Anyway, as I say, been doing a little bit more to it. To be honest, you can see down here we've actually started some of the assembly. We've actually got the flap unit installed into it, so you had to cut away usual bits of plastic that are in there, which are pretty nasty, and we've installed that one. We've got the center section going in there. To be honest, we've got to put the wheel section in the mid section down the back here, and then we can actually glue those two halves together and we can re-rivet as is required on all of those. To be honest, Mel went over, bless her heart, and has got the medals. So as you can see, just to put this into perspective, right, we've got half a box down there, and then if I just do that, we can show you here we have another complete box full. Let's grab that again. As you can see, of medals. So we say medals, and here they are, guys. This is the one for this year, so we get the glazing all off of it. Come on, camera, please. As I say, very difficult trying to do it all too. There we go. As you can see, I must be in animal medal, and then it's in a little case and flips over, and there we go. That is all your medals in there, just like that. So they have arrived. So literally, I can't get over there now, look, we've got too much in the way. So bear with me. What I'm going to do is, or hopefully do, is spend this evening going round doing them for you. So what I'm going to do is, I've already, to be honest, printed off a little sheet. It's going to go inside each one. I have here all of your addresses, literally, so I just need to cut it, stick it to the front of the envelope and send it off. So plan is, tonight, this evening, I'll get as many done during the evening as I can, just like in front of the telly. So I'm thinking probably might be able to get the US ones and the rest of the world ones out tomorrow, and then hopefully then Friday we'll get the European ones out, and then maybe Monday I'll get the UK ones out as well. Okay, so as I said, it's just that thing, because obviously we've got normal orders to go along with it, and standing in the post office and turning around and saying I've got 172 of these to go around the world. As you know, it takes a little bit of time. Not to mention the pensioners giving you grief behind, or that one person who's turned up and you're halfway through doing these things, who's got a letter and they just want to post that, and they're tutting behind you, because normally by the time I leave there's a queue right out the door of the post office, so it's always a little bit fun and games. So there we go. So the riveting section is going to be up with you probably by the time you see this. It'll go up this afternoon, so that'll be up on the site and everything else like that. Somebody asked me about the twin wheel on riveting, because we spoke about it yesterday and I've had an email from it. I am going to get one in to review it as well. To be honest, I'm going to put a little bit of an order in. I'm going to do it now before you guys get in there and I can't, you know, they're out of stock. I'm going to buy the twin riveting wheels as well, and probably a few other little scales, because I've enjoyed doing it so much, and it's one of those things now that now I've done probably the biggest project I'm likely to do. Doing smaller jobs should be a doddle, and it's been a lot of fun. I've quite enjoyed it, if I'm honest, so I'm going to do that. But as soon as it turns up here, obviously I'll show you guys, I'll show you how it works and everything else just like that. So till later on, guys. Happy modelling. Take care.